Let's look now at what we need to do to perform unit conversions when we have squared and cubed units. In previous module, we did lots of conversions for measures of length, for example, converting feet to inches. But it's important to note that that unit factor we were using, 1 foot equals 12 inches, can't be used if we have squared or cubed units. We'll have to adjust the conversion factor we use. Let's take a look at why. Let's say that this square here represents a square that is 1 foot by 1 foot. If we wanted to calculate the area of this square, we would take the length 1 foot and multiply by the width. As we saw in the last example, we would multiply the numbers together and multiply the units together. This would give me 1 times 1, or 1, foot times foot, foot squared. The area of this box is 1 foot squared. But we could write this another way. Notice that these two boxes are the same. The only difference is that instead of measuring in feet, I measured these dimensions in inches. So the length and the width are each 12 inches. If I want to calculate the area, I take the length, 12 inches, and multiply by the width. Same idea, the numbers get multiplied together, 12 times 12, and the units get multiplied together. 12 times 12 is 12 squared, or 144. You could write it either way, and inches times inches is inches squared. So the equivalent area in square inches is 144 square inches. What we see here is that 1 square foot is equal to 144 square inches. It's not the same conversion factor as when we had just the measurement of length. To write this another way, you could have just squared all the pieces of our original unit conversion. We knew that 1 foot was equal to 12 inches. If I wanted to square the units so that I could convert from feet squared to inches squared, I can do that as long as I square the numbers as well. 1 squared is 1, 12 squared is 144. Let's apply this to some examples. Let's convert 1 square meter to square centimeters. Remember, with unit conversions, we always start with what we're given, 1 meter squared, and we want to multiply by our unit conversion. If we think of the linear conversions that we know, I know that to cancel out units, meters will have to go on bottom, I want centimeters on top, and that 1 meter has 100 centimeters. I've started to set up my unit conversion, but right now my units don't quite match. Here I have meters squared, and here just meters. So like we saw above, I can square the units as long as I square the numbers as well. You can cancel out the units now. Meters squared will cancel out. When we do the multiplication, we'll be left with the unit we want, centimeters squared. And you could do in your calculator 1 times 100 squared divided by 1 equals 10,000 centimeters squared. So 1 square meter is equal to 10,000 square centimeters. You may have also chosen to write this unit conversion by expanding out or simplifying the squaring. 100 squared is equal to 10,000. So 10,000 centimeters squared in 1 meter squared. And you could have put it into your calculator that way as well. Pause the video and work through the next example. You're using the same conversion factor with a different given amount. You're converting 0.3 square meters into square centimeters. So set up your unit conversion and practice with your calculator to see how you do. The answer is shown here for you, and I put the unit conversion written in both forms, and you can choose which one you like. Either way, you should have found that 0.3 square meters is equal to 3,000 square centimeters. Let's take a look at how you can put this part into your calculator without having to convert that 100 squared into the 10,000 value. On your calculator, to put it in this way, you could put 0.3. We're multiplying, so times 100, and then just remember to use your squared button. We're dividing by 1 squared, which is just 1, so you don't have to enter that into your calculator, equals 3,000. Take a moment and try the next example, where we want to now convert 17,234 cubic inches into cubic feet. Pause the video and try and set up the unit conversion on your own, and then we'll go through the example. If you want to start working through this, just like the length unit conversions that we've done, remember, always just start with your given amount, 17,234 cubic inches. We can start with the length unit conversion. We want to get to feet and get away from inches, and I know that 1 foot has 12 inches. Since in this case I'm dealing with cubic inches, I need to cube my units, which means I also need to cube the numbers. You can punch this into your calculator from here, and I'll show you the steps. 17,234. We're multiplying by 1 cubed, which is just 1, so you don't have to punch that in, and then divide by 12 cubed. If your calculator has a cubed button, you can use that. Otherwise, you can use your y to the x button. And we get 9.9733, which to 2 decimal places is 9.97. And our units are cubic feet. So keep these skills for unit conversions in mind as you get to questions involving squared and cubed units when you're dealing with area and volume.